Hey everybody, Wave 3 News Meteorologist Ryan Hoke here with a Hokey video blog update for Sunday the 31st of January. It's the last day of January, but it feels like the middle of April with temperatures in the mid to upper 50s outside. Looks like we're going to be breaking a record for the low temperature here in Louisville being so warm. So the warmest low temperature was 53 degrees. That's the record. So far, we've only been down to the mid to upper 50s here in the city. I think we'll easily break that. This afternoon, looks like we'll break the high temperature. Last high temperature we had that was this warm was 67 back in 1989. And it looks like we're going to be getting to an even 70 this afternoon. That's going to help fuel up some showers for tonight. We'll show you that here in just a second. Our Hokey weather fact of the day first. Let's talk about this meteo tsunami. That's a new word you haven't heard before, likely. It is a tsunami-like surge of water caused by wind, a big push of thunderstorms, or a big low-pressure system like a hurricane out at sea. It's much like storm surge, but it causes the effects of a tsunami. A big rise in the water that moves inland, causes a lot of damage. They had one of these in Naples, Florida, just a couple weeks ago with a big line of thunderstorms moving in. Contrast that with a regular tsunami that's caused by an earthquake or sometimes even a volcano, and regular tsunamis can be a whole lot bigger than meteo tsunamis, although both of them cause considerable damage, so you don't want to play with either of them. So you've learned something new on today's Hokey weather fact. There's that record, 67, 1989. We break that with 70 this afternoon. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour this afternoon and tonight as well, especially inside some of these showers and even a couple of thunderstorms. We're not expecting severe weather here, but these gusts of wind could be strong at times, and we'll certainly see some driving rain, especially south of the city as these showers, bands of them, move through. Then we're tracking storm potential for Tuesday. Damaging winds a main threat there, and those storms could be severe. Kentucky One Health SkyTrack camera downtown shows us that we have the clouds overhead, but we've got some breaks interspersed with them with a little bit of blue sky and sunshine here and there. So it's not going to be a completely overcast morning, but we can definitely call it what I like to say 7/8 overcast. So 1/8 of the sky still clear there in some cases. 58 here in the city now. Mid-50s outside the city, some lower 50s to our north. Warm air continues to surge in. They're near 60 to our west in Evansville. We've got the clouds in place. They're low, but they're thin. Only about 3,000 feet above our heads. You're seeing that now in the infrared and visible satellite views from space combined here. This area of clouds out to our west will be moving in through the afternoon, causing some thicker cloud cover. They'll be more entrenched in here, but the southwesterly wind's really going to crank up. We're already up to 15 miles per hour. You see the wind there from the Louisville International Airport, always displayed on our radar maps. The system out to the west here, giving us the rain as we go throughout tonight as a cold front moves through. Won't be terribly powerful of a cold front, but just enough to take our temperatures down. Looks like about 15 degrees as we head throughout our Monday for high temperatures. Here's Futurecast for this afternoon. It's running too cool. We knew that already because it's already cooler than the current air temperature outside by a couple of degrees. 65 it says by 1:30. I think we'll be a little closer to 70. We'll hit 70 by 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon. Clouds still in here, but again, they're not consistently overcast. All right, so we'll see some breaks of sunshine out here. Then the showers begin to pop up to our northwest. Those pop in here as we go throughout 6, 7, 8 o'clock this evening. Again, they're not heavy to start with. They get a little heavier, though, over our southern counties. You see some of those yellows and oranges showing up here, and that's because there will be more instability down there as we work throughout tonight. And those will be able to work with that instability, get some of that thunder and some of the elevated nature of the cloud tops up there to give us some of that, the gusty winds as well. So we'll be watching for those gusty winds, not only for the afternoon, but this evening. After midnight, showers begin to move out. Again, they're a little stronger down here, not really expecting severe weather at this point. In fact, if we check the latest from the Storm Prediction Center here, as of this recording, they have not issued a moderate, or I should say a marginal risk, which is the lowest risk, still just a storm risk down in our southern counties. So not looking for anything severe here. And then these move out of here by the morning. May keep Adair County in a little bit of a rain threat as we go throughout 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, but it's out of here easily by 7 o'clock. Gusty winds, yeah, they're going to be a problem this afternoon. Unsecured patio furniture and maybe the covers to your chairs, if they're not secure because you were out yesterday enjoying the sunshine, you didn't put everything up, they're going to be blowing around today, all right? Especially because we could have these wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour. This is the potential wind gust that we may have in places through 4 o'clock this afternoon. Doesn't mean everyone's going to see a 30 to 35 mile an hour wind gust at 4 o'clock. It means that if you get a wind gust, this would be the maximum potential for that. So That's what we're looking at there. All right, 7-day breakdown. So we've got the rain chance today. You'll see temperatures going up to 70 as we go throughout the afternoon. The rain chance moves in after 5, 6 o'clock. It really gets up there around 10, 11 o'clock this evening. Then by Monday, we only get to 56. We say only, but this time of year, that's still like 10 or more degrees above average for this time of year. Tuesday is the day we're watching for strong to severe thunderstorms. Warm front moves through early in the morning. Temperatures rise throughout the morning with that. Storms still out to our west by 6 o'clock, say over portions of the Mississippi River Valley, but they'll be moving in here, say after 9, 10 o'clock in the evening. Definitely around here by midnight, 1 a.m. And here's what the radar could look like as we go throughout that time. You'll notice the batch of thunderstorms moving through along the cold front. The Storm Prediction Center has issued an enhanced risk, basically from southwest Kentucky down through the Mississippi Delta region. That looks pretty good at this point. All the data's lining up with that. Here's the good news about this system, is that there's not as much uncertainty as there was. The greatest uncertainty for us is just how severe the thunderstorms will be based on the instability. Some of the models this morning kicking in more than 100 joules per kilogram of instability. That's just enough for this time of year for these very fast winds aloft to work with, try to mix some of those down to the surface. That's why we're concerned about some patchy, damaging winds in places. We'll keep an eye on that. Isolated tornadoes not out of the question here. Some of the soundings I've looked at this morning show enough wind shear that we could see that, but most of that would be down toward West Tennessee and North Mississippi, so we're under a slight risk, not the enhanced here. As we go throughout Wednesday, those temperatures drop and you'll see 40s throughout the rest of the week. I want to elaborate on this storm chance just a little more. There's that slight risk of severe weather. The timing on this, I pinpointed it very early here, 5 p.m. to 2 a.m., 5 p.m. Tuesday night, 2 a.m. Wednesday morning. Slight risk, damaging winds, some minor flash flooding, and maybe an isolated tornado. That's generally what you get with a slight risk. If we break it down by impact here, the tornado threat, I mean, 1 or 2 isolated tornadoes certainly possible. They'd be short-lived and weak because they'd be just embedded within the squall line of storms. They wouldn't be from a supercell, so they're not going to last very long. But you still need to heed any tornado warning. Doesn't matter how strong the tornado is. If it hits your house, it's going to do damage, and it could cause problems for life and property for sure. So you want to be careful with that. Wind impacts are a little greater. We've put that at a medium category here. Some tree branches may fall. Shingle damage is possible. Patio furniture certainly going to move around with these storms. The hail threat very low at this point because the storms won't be elevated enough to really tap into the very cold layers of the atmosphere aloft to bring down some of that ice. So really no damaging hail expected. You might get some small pea-size hail in the stronger storms. But the flooding impacts could be ponding of water on roads. We'll have to watch for rises on creeks, especially if you get that inch and a half of rain real quick there. And some minor basement leakage. If you don't have everything shored up just right in your basement, you might get some water down there because the rain will be driving pretty heavily. All right, so now we've gone throughout the Tuesday evening severe weather risk. Here's the earliest alert outlook. I've taken us down into the 30s. Maybe a clipper around the 6th or 7th. Another one, maybe even a phased southern low system between the 9th and 10th. We'll check that out as we go through time. That may be 2 separate systems as well. The GFS and the Euro kind of squabbling at this point over if this is going to be phased and it's going to be rain or snow, or if it's going to be just a northern stream system and kind of like a clipper with light snow. We'll see how that goes. I do think we'll see somewhat of a warming trend toward the 12th and 13th, but that's not set in stone. Don't quote us on that quite yet, but that's just the earliest alert we want to give you on the forecast through the next 2 weeks. That's it for now, everybody. I'm Meteorologist Ryan Hoke. Watch out for those winds this afternoon, and I'll be back here on Wave 3 News at 6.